Chairman Kovner, President Woetzel, President Emeritus Polisi, Provost and Dean Guzalemian, distinguished honorees, esteemed Board of Trustees, renowned faculty and staff, dear friends, fabulously devoted family members, and brilliant, resilient, amazing Juilliard class of 2019. What a joy to be here to celebrate your commencement. I am giddy and I'm grateful to be able to add my voice to your impassioned cheering section of friends and family and fans near and far. That dazzling phrase of just a few years ago, "You got into Juilliard," now meets its beautiful counterpart, "You got out of Juilliard." Yes! Bravissimi! Congratulations, what an accomplishment. It's big, it's big. And this day is made even more glorious by the fact that it's co-owned by so many people in your life who have walked and stumbled and leapt with you along the way. Your family, your friends, your mentors, your scene partners, your creative investors, your co-conspirators, your besties, your muses. All of these forces are gathered here around you on this bright morning to recognize your great accomplishment. The concentric circles of your talent, the ripple effects of the work you've put in here, resonate this morning far beyond Lincoln Center. I was fortunate to be a student here from 2000 until 2004, first for my master's degree and then for my artist diploma in opera studies. When President Woetzel asked me to give this year's commencement speech, my first thought was that it feels like just yesterday that I was making a running dive into the elevator to get to Ms. Cox's ear training class on time. And I still occasionally have that recurring dream, as fresh now as it was in my first semester, that I'm back on stage at the Sharp Theater singing the Countess in Le Nozze di Figaro, a role I was lucky enough to sing here for the first time. In my dream, the bliss of Mozart's harmonies are enveloping us, and my colleagues are spinning out these gorgeous lines, peppered with Da Ponte's delicious Italian twists and turns. And suddenly I am realizing that I'm singing in a language that's totally unrecognizable. And I'm stark naked. Classic Juilliard anxiety dream. This place gave me one or two of those. But it also gave me the phrase and the life lesson, in bocca al lupo. Yeah, as my vocal arts family here will tell you, that's what we opera singers say to each other as we walk on stage. It's the Italian equivalent of break a leg. In bocca al lupo means literally into the wolf's mouth. There, go. Feel your heart race, yes, but take that step, take the stage, bring it. In bocca al lupo speaks to the nature of courage, which is not the absence of fear, but rather acting in the presence of fear. In bocca al lupo says that if something scares you, it's a sign that it's worthy of your energies. What this has meant for me, and what you'll soon find out if you haven't already, is that in future seasons, when you stand on the great stages of the world, when you present at the United Nations, when you face a classroom of third graders, you won't be daunted. You'll know that you can do it, because here you brought all of yourself, even on those days that you were underslept and overwhelmed. You faced down your toughest scenes and your fugues and fouettes and fioritura passages, and in the practice room, you faced yourself. You have been forged in these flames of legacy and history, and you showed up and you did it. I've been talking to you all in my head for the last couple of weeks, wondering what essential pieces of wit and wisdom I wish that I'd heard 15 years ago. As a singer, I'm an interpretive artist, someone who loves to breathe life into other people's words and melodies. For that reason, I'm deeply comfortable quoting folks wiser than myself. So, here are 4 quotes tied to 4 key qualities that you'll be carrying out with you onto the corner of Broadway and 65th Street later this afternoon. Quote number 1. If you ask me what I came to do in this world, I, an artist, will answer, I came to live out loud. 19th century French novelist and playwright Émile Zola. Now, there's no way you could have made it to this graduation moment if you weren't living out loud, boldly, with purpose. And as you've likely seen, when you live out loud, the universe hears you. You may have a crazy idea, like placing hundreds of artist-designed pianos in the streets for anyone to play, and you will carry it forth because here you have trained yourself to dream big and speak loud. This doesn't mean that every venture you pursue will succeed. In my career as a singer and my work with Sing for Hope, I've definitely been shot down more times than I care to count. I'll never forget the noted philanthropist who explained to me that only somebody who doesn't respect music would put instruments on the streets for anyone to play. So, your boldness will at times be met with blank stares. But if you stay true to your heart's mission and keep going, you will find your people, your spiritual board of directors, your personal founders circle, and they will share your vision. And what you create with them will be amazing. Quote number 2, art alone can sharpen the moral imagination and turn sorrow into meaning. American novelist and Nobel laureate Toni Morrison. Your art helps us make sense of a world that feels increasingly chaotic and uncertain. Of course, the life of an artist isn't always rosy, and there will be those days when you want to hurl your instrument across the room. Always awkward if you're a singer, or a dancer or a playwright. But fundamentally, you create art because you made a choice a long time ago to double down on a life of meaning. You've made the choice to be vital in the sense of la vida, a life fully lived. As purveyors of live creative art, you're like the slow food movement, farm to table. You hearken back centuries in order to point us forward to a more sustainable future. You are the brilliant repurposers of the endlessly renewable resource that is creativity. You are our call to attention, the artisanal weavers of our dreams, the beekeeper, the honeymaker in the hill country, the wake-up call, the generator of hope. There has never been a more important time in history for you and your art. Quote number 3, to be an artist, you need the skin of an elephant and the soul of a butterfly. Iconic soprano and Juilliard alum, Evelyn Lear. To be strong, even as you're vulnerable. That's fierce, that's rare, that's power. And that's what you've honed here. The complexities of our art forms are many, but in essence, all great art rests on simple building blocks. For those of us who are singers, and we're all singers, our work begins and ends with the simplest of elements, breath. Vocalized breath is the first indicator of human life, as any newborn's cry will tell you, and it connects us all. It's this deeply connected state that we tap into when we share art, and it's why you all, as creatives, are quite literally our hope for a unified future. You are the butterfly soul protected by the elephant skin. That is a superpower that you carry out from this building later today, along with your diploma. Quote number 4 from another Juilliard alum. I am interested in pushing for the role of culture to have an equal place at the table with politics and economics. Iconic cellist and changemaker Yo-Yo Ma. Enter citizen artistry. You all, Juilliard tribe, know this stuff well. Citizen artistry is a vision in which artistic expression is positioned as a central part of individual wellness and societal harmony. In neighborhoods right outside these doors, in rising economies like Sri Lanka and Mexico, in places like Puerto Rico that are recovering from disaster, and all around the globe, citizen artists are helping to build new societies of justice and peace. They're voicing the UN Sustainable Development Goals. They are bringing art's universal language to bear on challenges ranging from the refugee crisis to education inequality to healthcare. Sing for Hope, fostered here at Juilliard by myself and bestie and fellow soprano, brilliant Juilliard grad Monica Eunice, has produced creative programming that spans refugee camps in Greece to classrooms in the South Bronx to the Sing for Hope pianos that hit the streets of New York City next week. And in countries around the world, members of our Juilliard family are leading the citizen artist charge because Juilliard's ethos of excellence acts as a megaphone, a high-frequency resonance. Thinking back on my graduation a decade and a half ago, I had no idea how I would honor my sense of social justice and still sing on the level that I aspired to. I still don't know that, and I don't know so many things. But looking back to my graduation moment, I did do a few things right. And before I close, I want to share those things with you. First of all, this community, you are forever a part of it. The people in this room are your team. Your teachers and colleagues here are among the best in the world, and when you leave, they will still be an incredible resource for you, as you will be for them. Stay connected, stay in touch, nurture these relationships, keep creating together. Secondly, living boldly and speaking truthfully will expose you to heartbreak. Expect this and know that you will heal. In the end, the gain of a fully ventured life is more than worth it, and you'll be stronger than ever. And last but not least, this. Your unique talent, specific to you alone, has been cultivated to peak form here. This essence, this inspiration, what in Spanish we call duende, what could be called soul, is completely individual, even as it connects us to something universal in our human experience. It's your little light, to quote the spiritual that Leontine Price sang when she was a student here. It's the creative spark that lives in each person. The beauty and power of your spark is why you were chosen to be here. This light lives with you and you alone, and it can never be taken away. Remember this, because the world needs your light right now, perhaps more than ever. During your time here, your job has been to cultivate your light, to stretch and arpeggiate and amplify it. And now, it's time for you to get out of the way and let it shine. That is the hardest work of all, the work for which all other work is but preparation. And it's the work you were born to do. Brilliant, resilient, amazing Juilliard class of 2019. Shine on. Thank you.